What do you mean by excessive delegation? Does the court disapprove the practice of excessive delegation? Ans. It is well settled that essential and primary legislative functions must be performed by legislative itself, and they cannot be delegated to the executive. It is now settled by the majority judgment in the Delhi Laws Act case and a number of later cases that there is a limit beyond which delegation may not go. The limit is that essential legislative powers of legislation cannot be delegated. If the legislature delegates the essential legislative function, it is in excess of what it should do. It consists in delegating the power to determine or choose the legislative policy and of formally enacting the policy into a binding rule of conduct. In this case, the latter part of Section 2 of Part C states, Laws Act 1950, which provided that provision may be made in any enactment so extended for the repeal or amendment of any corresponding law which is for the time being applicable to the Part C state, was declared ultra vires, because the law to repeal or abrogate existing law is an essential legislative function, which cannot be delegated to the executive. In St. John's Teachers Training Institute v. Regional Director, National Council for Teacher Education, AIR 2003 SC 1533, it was observed that the question whether any particular legislation suffers from excessive delegation has to be decided having regard to the subject matter, the scheme, the provisions of the statutes including its preamble and the facts and circumstances in the background of which the statute is enacted. It is also well settled that in considering the vires of subordinate legislation, one should start with the presumption that it is intra vires, and if it is open to two constructions, one of which would make it valid and other invalid, the courts must adopt that construction which makes it valid, and the legislation can also be read down to avoid its being declared ultra vires. In Quarry Owners Association v. State of Bihar AIR 2000 SC 2870, it was observed that in order to adjudicate whether any delegation of power is unbridled or excessive, the historical background of similar provisions which preceded the impugned provision should be kept in mind, as it is also a relevant consideration. Under the earlier Act of 1948, the extraction of minor minerals was left to be regulated by the provincial governments. That pattern was approved by Parliament in the new Act. That being so, even on consideration of historical background, there is nothing wrong to delegate to the state government power to fix rate of royalty dead rent for the minor minerals. In Registrar of Cooperative Societies v. K. Kunjabamu, AIR 1980 SC 350, Supreme Court reiterated that the power to legislate carries within the power to delegate, but excessive delegation may amount to abdication, and delegation unlimited may invite despotism uninhibited. Therefore, the principle is that the legislature cannot delegate its legislative function. Legislature must be laying down policy and principle and delegate it may to fill in detail and carry out policy. Moreover, similar principles were laid down by the Supreme Court in Gwalior Rayon Mills MFG Limited v. Ast. Commissioner of Sales Tax and other, AIR 1974 SC 1660, and Avinder Singh v. State of Punjab, AIR 1979 SC 321, in Jyoti Prasad v. Administrator for the Union Territory of Delhi and others, AIR 1961 SC 1602, the Supreme Court held so long as the legislature indicates in the operative provisions of the statute with certainty the policy and purpose of the enactment, the mere fact that legislation is skeleton or the fact that a discretion is left to those entrusted with administering the law. affords no basis either for the contention that there has been an excessive delegation of legislative power as to amount to an abdication of its function, or that the discretion vested is internalized and unguided as to amount to a carte balance to discriminate